All right, let's bring in former Department of Defense interrogator and body language expert Lena Sisco. Lena, your thoughts tonight as you watched the debate?
Well, first, Vance did rock it. He was so confident and comfortable. His answers were quick. They were deliberate. They were concise. There was no stuttering. There was no ums. There were no filler words. His body language was on point. He did stellar.
You know, it's interesting is that how important is, you know, as we watch as we watch the two gentlemen on the screen. If you go back to 1960 when it was Kennedy and Nixon, if you listen to the debate on the radio, this was the first televised as well. Everyone thought Nixon won, but if you watched it, you thought Kennedy won. And so how you present yourself on the screen really does have an influence, does it not?
Oh, absolutely. Because what you're doing is you're trying to win the trust of the people, and you have to exude that, and you're going to exude it in what you say, but also how you look. And the moment that we have any stress or doubt in what we're going to say, that's coming out in our body language, our facial expressions, the way we talk, whether or not we become breathy, we're rapid eye blinking, and so much more. And when people see and hear these indicators of stress, we start to lose our trust in those people.
Yeah, I thought, Lena, I thought it was almost scary how calm J.D. Vance was. You know, he's just so calm in these moments where it's like, this is a nationally televised debate. You got a presidency, you know, on the line here. I mean, that's such a pressure moment. I want to play for you the moment that Tim Walz was asked about. He claimed that he had been there during the Tiananmen Square protests in Beijing, China, and that turned out to be a complete lie. This is when he was called out by CBS Tonight.
I joined the National Guard at 17, worked on family farms, and then I used the GI Bill to become a teacher, passionate about it, a young teacher. My first year out, I got the opportunity in the summer of '89 to travel to China. 35 years ago, be able to do that. I came back home and then started a program to take young people there. My community knows who I am. They saw where I was at. Look, I will be the first to tell you, I have poured my heart into my community. I've tried to do the best I can, but I've not been perfect, and I'm a knucklehead at times.
Governor, just to follow up on that, the question was, can you explain the discrepancy?
All I said on this is I got there that summer and misspoke on this, so I will just, that's what I've said. So I was in Hong Kong and China during the democracy protests went in. And from that, I learned a lot of what needed to be in governance.
It's a flat-out lie is the answer. Lena, what did you see there in that answer?
Oh, it was so embarrassing to watch this. Yeah. Well, first, he does a lot of mouth shrugging. So that's when the corners of the mouth come down. And it means the same thing as a shoulder shrug. It means doubt. And the problem is, if it's incongruent with what I'm saying, then we have a problem, right? It's a lie. So I can tell you, listen, I have no idea what I'm going to say, and that matches up. But he was saying something definitively and shrugging his shoulders. So it just tells the person, don't believe what he's saying. We have the prolonged eye blinking, which is telling me that he is experiencing something traumatic or stressful. And we also have the stuttering. So those four things right there tell me absolutely this is a lie. And you don't have to be a body language expert to know he never answered the question.
Well, I think, Rob, you know, I actually would criticize the anchors and the moderators, because you can't just look at this question in a vacuum. He's also had a misstatement about his military record. And so it's not just like a one-off. I mean, we all make the one-offs, you know, on television, say the wrong thing or the statement, but they didn't follow up and say, what about these other, you know, instances?
Yeah, well, that's really not surprising to those of us that have been watching these debates. Yeah, they didn't call him out.
The voters needed an explanation.
Yeah, they didn't get it. Yeah.
No,
Lena, anything else? What about Vance? As far as J.D. Vance went, I mean, I just couldn't believe how calm and cool he is in such a pressure moment. What did you see?
So he does the Trump identifiers, right? He does this knife hand that I always see. And it's just when people want to be very definitive and they're very confident in what they're saying, they'll tend to do this knife hand. He also does something else, which is the ring finger pose. And Trump is notorious for doing this. And it just says, listen, I know what I'm talking about, but I can also handle very delicate issues.
Yeah. Yes. Good stuff. It's always interesting to talk to you guys after one of these debates. You see stuff that it's like, I don't know. I'd be terrified if I was your husband. Let's just put it that way. You'd never get away with anything. Lena Sisco, Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.